The objective of this business report is to answer the proposed question. Why is the sandwich and sub franchise industry rapidly growing after the recovery of the economy, but Quiznos is continuing to have such a significant loss? In this study, I will evaluate current and past operating problems and answer some solutions Quiznos should have to improve sales. This will now take me into my first main point, addressing current and past problems. Quiznos is currently $570 million in debt. On the date of March 14th, 2014, Quiznos filed a voluntary petition for debt relief under Chapter 11 of the United States Bankruptcy Code. The bankruptcy restriction plan will reduce debt by more than $400 million, which is 2/3 of their total debt. Mostly all of the Quiznos locations are independently owned franchises. There are 2,100 restaurants total, and only 7 of those locations are not franchises. Quiznos needs to improve their damaged relationship with their franchises. Most of these owners say that they've been pushed out of business because of high operating costs. From the beginning, Quiznos has always insisted and took pride for only having the best ingredients for their sandwiches. This required their franchises to only purchase the highest quality and expensive ingredients. In the early 2000s, the company began forcing their franchise owners to buy food and supplies only from headquartered approved distributors. These franchise owners not only have to pay the fee to use the Quiznos name, but they are also forced to buy materials from Quiznos only distribution companies. Quiznos had marketed themselves as more expensive, but you're paying for the higher quality of ingredients. Quiznos had made it difficult for franchise owners to afford their supplies. In 2008, the recession had now officially hit the United States economy. This had a massive impact on Quiznos' sales and profits. The company's market share dropped by more than 50% in 2008 from 2008 to 2013. At the beginning of 2009, the chain had 4,378 restaurants. And in 2013, that number fell to 1,935. Quiznos recorded a striking fall in the number of total restaurants and total sales since 2007. These losses had directly impacted Quiznos' finances. Since the recession, Quiznos has not been able to make a recovery in sales or profit. Restaurants are continuing to close around every corner from loss of revenue and high operating costs. Coming out of their announced bankruptcy, Quiznos needs to make dramatic modifications to their business model. Quiznos might have struggled through the recession, but the other companies like Subway have only increased. The industry for sandwich and subs is a competitive and large market. This industry will continue to have direct competition between these sandwich franchises. Quiznos' main competition from the start has always been Subway. In the early 2000s, these companies were constantly at a head-to-head battle. In 2008, Quiznos launched their legendary $5 footlong campaign. And suddenly, it became clear that Quiznos and their toasted subs could no longer keep up with the cheap, affordable footlong sandwiches that Subway was offering. Quiznos was no longer a main threat to Subway, and their franchises were also unable to compete with the low prices because of the high price in ingredients. Quiznos' main competition isn't just Subway anymore. It is also the new sandwich chains that have surfaced into the marketplace over the past 5 years. Restaurants like Jimmy John's, Firehouse Subs, Jersey Mike's, and Potbelly. Subs are stepping up the game. These gourmet sandwich shops are now stepping up the game in the industry. All of these companies have had rapid growth the past couple years and have increased their market share. Companies like Jimmy John's and Jersey Mike's have branded themselves for their gourmet sandwiches and set themselves away from Subway. The recovering economy has also had a huge impact on the growth of these companies. These gourmet sandwich shops are continuing to be on the rise. And then, on the other hand, there's Quiznos, which is still suffering a significant loss. This will now lead me into my final main point, and that is the recommendations for Quiznos and the steps they are going to need to take if they're going to ever recover from this bankruptcy. Relationships with your franchises are one of the most key elements for success, and Quiznos must restore them. The first primary action that Quiznos needs to take to improve sales is to begin repairing these damaged relationships. These franchises are the core of the company, and without cooperation and full communication with these individual franchises, there won't be any future for success in the company. These franchises are paying 6 to 7% more for their food compared to the other sandwich franchises. In order to restore this connection, Subway has to start charging more money than the other competitors for their premium ingredients. The proposition for Quiznos is to replace the current distributor with a food co-op. This would lower the prices and could potentially repair their images to their franchises. Next, in order for Quiznos to improve their sales and potentially get them out of bankruptcy, they will need to completely rebrand themselves. They have seen time and time again the most expensive but the best quality ingredients isn't working for the company. They cannot afford to continue to pay these high prices for the expensive premium ingredients, and their individual franchises are suffering majorly. They can't brand themselves as the most expensive sandwich shop any longer, but they also don't need to rebrand themselves as the cheapest either. Subway has made it clear that they are the dominant player and the cheapest brand in the business. In order for Quiznos to compete with these new sandwich shops, they must position themselves right in the middle between Subway and the gourmet sandwich restaurants. They are going to have to lower their prices for the ingredients and in return not strive for the absolute best quality. They will continue to have better quality ingredients over Subway with their hot toasted subs, but will lower their prices and qualities for many items. Quiznos will serve as a happy medium for consumers that want a higher quality in food but don't want to have to pay as much money. This is introducing a new target market for young adults that are wanting a high-tasting sandwich but aren't ready to pay those gourmet prices. And finally, the next step to improve sales is to enormously boost their marketing. Marketing is so incredibly important and is one of the most differentiators for any company in the market. Quiznos has drilled the promotion of the $5 footlongs constantly ever since the promotion hit the marketplace. They came up with catchy slogans and jingles so that you can never forget that Subway is offering selected footlong sandwiches. The second leader in the market share, Jimmy John's, has also had a very successful marketing campaign for their freaky fast delivery. Jimmy John's utilizes every communication channel like radio, social media, and television, for example. A massive part of Jimmy John's brand awareness is their freaky fast delivery. To compete with Jimmy John's, Quiznos launched their delivery service as well. I had no clue that Quiznos ever delivered. The primary reason is because they had no marketing behind it. Quiznos had come up with a new marketing campaign Quiznos needs to come up with a new marketing campaign that's going to fit with a new positioning and brand. They are going to have to get consumers excited about Quiznos once again. They need to be able to set themselves apart from the competition. They need to find that differentiator that will make people recognize them just like Subway and Jimmy John's have. It's time to come up with an exciting marketing promotion to show the market that they are back and they are ready for business. Their target market, as I stated before, needs to be young adults just out of high school, wanting that hot sandwich but to save a couple bucks. They need to market themselves affordable but higher quality options over Subway. These are some recommendations for a long road to recovery for Quiznos. Quiznos has a long way, but these are the 3 most important factors I think that they should take into consideration.
That was good. It was 10 minutes.
I messed that up so bad.
No, you didn't.
I like skipped a
Just
part.
a couple. Did you? I got lost. I was like, which one is she on?
I forgot to say that. I got lost in like my writing sometimes, but I think that should be fine.
It was 10 minutes long. That was